Hi, it's Tacticus again, and we have a little weird of a situation at hand. Only recently I made a video on the availability of relics, and this week I immediately have to correct it, as the patch notes not only have brought new infos to light, but also some welcome changes. But don't worry, that's definitely a good thing. We will talk about the new chance of finding relics, as well as about the newly added ones and what they do. If you want to learn about the general mechanics of relics and mythic equipment though, you can still watch the old video here. The only other change is that you can now unequip relics and mythic equipment. They become soul bonded though, so you can only ever re-equip them to the same character. You can't accidentally make your character worse by equipping a suboptimal equipment though, which definitely is a nice change. You can't just give the mythic items to other characters anymore when you find the relic of the previous owner. They'll instead be soul bonded and only be equipable by them. This soul bond can be shattered for mythic items for 100 mythic salvage and a mythic forge badge, should you ever feel the need. Relics have luckily changed twofold. While up to now you only had a 10% chance of getting a relic in the Rogue Trader daily, it has now been increased to a 14% chance. The patch notes also specified that before the relics were actually weighted by a number of characters that can use them. This has been changed to being weighted just double when multiple characters can use one. So now we know that this weighted graph from last time was correct. We still don't know whether the chance for relics you already bought is deducted, and of course all following numbers will change when new relics come out. I'm going to bet that it is. I inserted 10 of every relic in the test build and rerolled the Rogue Trader a couple of times. After 30 tries, I still didn't find a single relic, which is about a 1% chance of happening, so I'm actually 99% sure. Buying even unwanted relics should prevent you from getting them again when you have as many as you could ever possibly use. So buying something suboptimal to enhance your chance to find what you want is a valid strategy. At least until the next update, today's numbers should be accurate. Before, we had 17 different relics, 6 of which were for single characters, with 11 for multiple characters. This slightly changed with Adamata now being able to use Chiron's trucks as well, forming the first 2-character relic. The Demon Flesh Blade has been added for Rask, Toth, Maladus and Angrax as a multi-character relic, and the Paragon Spear for the new character Turres, Maugetar for Morgan Ra, and the Norn Crown for the Neurotrope. This now makes 8 single-character relics and 13 multi-character ones. Whereas before you could only equip 42 out of 99 characters with relics, this has been increased to 50 out of 100. The only character added to the game since we had the mythic update without a relic he can use now is Marshal Treyer. Instead, like before, where the chance of a relic would rely on how often it was needed, you now get only 2 different chances. Single character relics, which now have a chance of 0.41% each, instead of 0.24% before, and multi-character relics, whose chance is now always 0.82%. For the single relics, this is an increase of 72.94%, whereas for the multi-character ones, you can see the change on the table on screen. The especially ubiquitous relics before, as the Relic Bolt Pistol, will be rarer now, and even the 3-character ones have gained 15.29% of their chance compared to before. This definitely is a step in the right direction. It makes the single relics a lot more probable to be found, and let's face it, you don't need 5 Relic Bolt Pistols right away anyways. Of course, the number of characters increases the chance you have one of them at Blue Star, but you still only need 1 for each character you get to Mythic. For people that have a character with a unique relic there already, this saves them a lot of waiting. How much? After a year of searching for one, you will now have a 77.82% chance to find one opposed to the earlier 58.11%. You now reach 50% chance after 168 days instead of 291 days. every other relic, you will now have a 90% chance to have seen one after 279 days, whereas before it ranged between 193 and 322, depending on how many characters could use it. You see, it becomes faster, but it's still not guaranteed and will need some dedication, and you will definitely have to keep those 285 Archaeotech for the multi-use ones and 430 Archaeotech for the unique relics, not to spoil your chance when you finally find one. If you have really deep pockets, as stated, you could actually increase your chances by buying relics you don't need. Before having a look at the new relics, you can tremendously help me out by using my referral code BAD60edu in game and by subscribing to this channel so you don't miss future videos. I don't come empty-handed today either. Sadly, Trier doesn't have a relic yet, but I'd still love you all to have that great character. Use more relics in game for 50 energy and 10 Trier shards. Let's have a look at the new relics as well. I'll discuss the Paragon Spear in Turret's own video, but there's still 3 more to learn about that you can get right now and already equip when you have the characters ready. The Demon Flesh Plate for all 4 Chaos Terminators is a block booster with the usual 30% block chance of mythic items, which increases the user's armor for every attack they make, which is ultimately reset after the 8th attack and reactivates their active. For Maladus and Angrax the armor is more important probably, and Thoth's active is only especially important in combination with Typhus active in legendary events. Although with the use of On-Chi you can now pull that combo twice. Every enemy attacked counts, so Rask killing everyone around him, 6 stacks already. Angrax active, 2 stacks. Even Thoth's active counts every enemy attacked, which is great. Same for Maladus, who can attack multiple enemies every round. Basically, every Terminator has some way to attack multiple enemies and will get their active fulfilled even faster. I would guess that Rask loves this most, as in prolonged battles he'll be able to endure even more attacks and will then be able to use his active more often, helping him kill more enemies, a thing Maladus and Angrax can do from the get-go. Maladus and Angrax will definitely appreciate the extra armor, but Rask being able to attack more enemies more often could be crucial for him. Thoth, though, I think I would put this on last. His active is mainly impressive when playing with Typhus anyways. You can get it as the last reward in the Warp Search event from November 14th to 16th, so be sure to use your Chaos teams in Arena so everyone can get more points. The Norn Crown for the Neurotrope is a block equipment. First off, it lets you stack Neuroparasites one more time, which is huge on its own. Friendly summons and Psykers in range also deal extra damage against enemies afflicted with the Neuroparasite. Not based on the stack itself, but a flat value. This is huge, starting out at almost as much as a level 50 Eltrion buff. The caveat is needing to be near the Neurotrope, but the potential is huge, and even the one additional Neuroparasite is great. The Neuro team normally doesn't care much about a hit count, but with this, those that dish out more hits like Mephiston could be even more crucial. It doesn't even depend on the damage type you deal. If stacking fast wasn't as important, I could even imagine bringing a Winged Prime for more Synapse range, and 2 to 3 buffed summons a turn from attacking and failing to kill the boss. Whereas before I regarded Chiron as a possible addition to the Neuro team, Psykers seem even more important now with the damage buff. Lastly, Maugetar is a crit equipment for Morgan Ra with the usual 35% crit buff, which seems to be better with a number of hits for potentially longer crit chains. If Morgan hasn't moved, he's allowed to move after attacking, which is great already. His high range will pretty often allow him to do so, and as the attack will then come from an unmoved fighter, the heavy weapon will kick in, even if you want to relocate. Of course, the latter part can be cancelled by moving into melee with him, but even then he can attack and then just scurry off. Every time he attacks and scores at least one critical hit, again, the higher crit chance is the way to go here, he will deal an additional direct damage hit starting at around 2000 damage. This is not only cool for the damage, but also the additional hit, which pushes me more and more into believing the ranged multi-hit team will be coming back soon. There's the caveat of the Overwatch only dealing this extra hit if Morgan hasn't moved, so it won't kick in there often. That's it. Do you think the speed of finding relics has been increased enough? Which of the new ones do you like the most? Will you buy relics just to improve your chance at others? I'll be honest, I found turrets spare and bought it. You never know when the chance comes around again, but I don't hope to use it in less than a year. Impulse buy, really. Let me know in the comments. On screen you can see the new video on all the changes that came alongside those ones and delve into my Overanalyzing Tacticus playlist. Thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful day.